It's Thursday, April 17th, 2025, and we're here to discuss, and it's 9 o'clock, and we're here to discuss and review and consider 2025 tax exemption applications pursuant to Idaho Code 63-602 for the following cases. And we can start with American Lutheran Church. It looks like it's about the same as last year. Is that what you guys were seeing?
Yeah.
So there was no change. One of the things that I saw in here was it looks like they filed for two parcels, two of the exact same parcels. They have D-115-0007-006 and then AA at the end. And I'm just wondering if that was
that's one of them that there was a third parcel. They probably just wrote down the wrong number.
Okay, so I think that's the one I may have called yesterday. I called them and told them that they may have accidentally doubled it. So how do we want to go forward on that?
There's several of them that way, though.
There's two.
There's two
different ones.
Okay.
What I would do is the ones that got correct, exempt those, and then have them clarify on the additional one. Just
okay.
I'm sure it's
just a
typo, but
okay.
So they know you're paying attention.
Okay.
That's the way I'd handle it.
Okay, so go ahead through with it and.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. That one that's a double, I would exempt those two, and then the one they didn't list, say, were you interested in that exemption?
Okay.
And they'd say, well, we can assume, but
yeah,
you know what happens when you assume. So
exactly.
Just to clarify.
Okay.
Would that be too much trouble in reaching out to them?
I don't think so. And the second one I reached out to yesterday, and they said, yeah, it was a mistake. We want.
You got
not this one, but there was the other one.
Right.
Because you notice none of these numbers line up with last year's. They're all off by one digit or so.
Which digit?
This one says AA. Last year said A006A.
When it comes to parcel number, the RP in front and the A in the back is really not part of the parcel number.
Okay.
The RP means it's real property, and the A behind the last A means it's active. But you didn't know that, so we shouldn't expect them to know that. But some do. So they say, oh, my parcel number is. So if it came to that, I would say it was irrelevant.
Okay.
Because they're going to say, well, the general public doesn't know that last A is just a coding.
Oh, okay. On the other one, they have H, and last year we had A. So does that matter?
That could. I would guess that's a typo.
Instead of an A.
Because none of them should end in an H.
It's just a typo.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it looks like they have all. Does it appear that they have most of them, Dave? Commissioner Does? There's one of them that's A.
Well, the first one, they just marked AA, and last year we had A. And the second one, they marked 004H, and last year we had 004A. So again, just typos.
Okay, so they do have all three of them from last year. They just must have stuck that other one in, the extra one in there. Okay. So it is the same as last year. Okay. Thank you. No, do we vote on it? Vote on this one right now? We can vote
Yeah, last year you guys, after each one,
Okay.
voted to
Okay.
how we wanted the exemption.
All right. I would make I would entertain a motion to approve the exemptions on the American Lutheran Church. And do you guys want the whole ID number?
If,
Just do the
I
last
think if
four.
you just said the 3 parcels
Okay.
listed would be fine.
Okay.
Okay, I'll so moved.
Second it?
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one we have is Avery Citizens Committee.
Last year they got a partial exemption from us.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and they put a letter in there
Yeah.
for this year, and they do rent out that part to the U.S. Post Office.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what we're non-exempting?
Yeah.
Okay. 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 So I would entertain. I don't see any difference from last year.
No, I would move that we grant a partial exemption again, same as last year. Although I don't have a percentage. Did we decide we have to do a percentage on partials or?
You don't. I would just state except for the portion being rented out. And we have probably a percentage in ours where we went up and determined what that was. A lot of these people you couldn't expect, and they're just going to give you an estimate of the percentage anyway.
Okay.
So, but then as long as we know, except for the part being rented out, we can work with the taxpayer to say, okay, what part's being rented out, and then measure that and subtract it out. So,
Okay, so I'll amend my motion to say except for the part being rented out.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next one is Kellogg Elks. And they don't have any change from last year.
I don't have that application.
It's going to be under Kellogg. Go look under Kellogg Elks. I kind of got out of order.
Gotcha.
And then the next one will be Wallace, so you might as well go down to W and pull that one out because they come out with it looks like they came out and were in order with BPO.
Any comments from the assessor on the Kellogg Elks? Anything different? I would move that we grant them the whole exemption because there's no change since last year.
I will second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next one is Wallace Elks. And that looks the same to me. Any comments from you? No. Okay. It's gonna be all back in W, right? The last.
Okay. No change, so again, I would motion that we grant them a full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one is the Church of Christ. Again, I didn't see any change this year from last year. And was there anything new from you guys? No, nothing new from the assessor.
I would motion we grant them a full exemption, same as last year.
Second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
we have the Church of God in Wallace.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's the same as last year. There's 2 parcels.
Yeah.
Any other further questions? No?
I would motion we grant full exemption, same as last year.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. The next one is the Church of the Nazarene. Let's see.
I don't have that one. But I haven't found it yet anyway.
I didn't see that one either.
You missed that one.
Church of the Nazarene. Let's see.
Go pull it.
That may be stuck in here.
I bet you Sydney held that out just to test you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see it.
It should have been in order, so I can go print 3 copies real quick.
Okay.
Do you want one for yours?
No, I have all the applications on my computer.
Okay.
I don't know if this would be the one, the Silver Valley. It may be this one, Silver Valley Church, Legal Property, Church of Nazarene. I'll have
What's
to
the
ask.
parcel number start with?
Parcel number starts with D00006 0068920.
Yeah.
That is the one.
That is the one.
Yeah.
Okay. It's called the Silver Valley Church of Nazarene.
I've got it.
Okay. This one here.
The parcels all match. I found it in the S's.
Of course.
Silver Valley Church of the Nazarene.
Okay.
I see no changes. Anything from your office on that? I would move we grant full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Community Bible Church is the next one.
See no changes. Anything from your office? I would move we grant full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. The next one is Echo Pines. And it looks the same as last year.
So on that one, commissioners, I think you should
Yes. Yes.
That's right.
state that you have a conflict on that.
Yes.
I think you can still vote on it if you state that.
Yeah.
Or you could table it and run it by legal counsel if you wanted to. So, but
Mhm.
I think if you
Yes.
state that you have a conflict, you're fine.
Yes.
Okay.
We both do.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I gotta
Yes.
get my letter out.
Yes. We're both on the Silver Valley
Board.
Seniors. Yeah.
Yes.
Board.
Yeah. I'm quasi off the board, but I gotta write a letter to
Yes.
get off the board.
Yes.
I haven't been to a meeting since
Yes.
November.
I think as long as you state publicly that you have a conflict there.
Okay. I have a conflict in this case. I am on the board still. I haven't been to a meeting since November. I just need to write a letter to step down from the board.
And I am also on the Silver Valley Seniors Board, so there is a conflict there for me as well.
I have no conflict.
I have no conflict. You sure? Okay, you want to do a motion?
I would move that we approve full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. The next one is the First Baptist Church. Is it? No, Emmanuel Lutheran Church. So that one's out of order too. I just saw that one down here. It would probably be the Mullen Emmanuel Church. Does it start with property A?
Yeah.
0100? Okay.
Any comments from your office on that?
Nope.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant full exemption, same as last year.
I will second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Okay. Now, the next one is the First Baptist Church of Kellogg. Again, last year they didn't check box number 9, and this year they checked box number 9. Does that have any?
Refresh my memory.
It says, if this request is for personal property, is any of the personal property associated with the parcel leased or not used exclusively for the purpose of which this parcel's exemption was previously granted? And they just said no.
On that one, I think you can ignore, because even if they didn't want their personal property exempt, they fall underneath the $250,000 exemption.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I would have to be significant personal property. So
Okay. And being this is a church, it's probably not.
yeah,
Okay. I didn't see any change from last year. Did you guys?
solid gold chalices. And
Yeah. Okay, see any changes?
No.
Okay.
I would move that we grant full exemption to the First Baptist Church Kellogg.
I will second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Now, the next one is the First Baptist Church of Osborne.
I see no change.
I'm looking for.
It's under Cornerstone.
Okay, I did have that out. Okay, I see that. Yeah, and I don't see any change either.
I would move to grant full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
The next one is Friends of Head Start. And I didn't see any change from last year. Now they lease to the college. That's what.
I don't know.
Yeah, 2025 tax exemption application for property in question. It says, to whom it may concern, the property is currently leased to North Idaho College Head Start program.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
that's
That's-
yeah, so that's the
yeah,
same thing.
so-
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. And we granted a full exemption last year.
I would move we grant the same full exemption again this year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, Grace Evangelical Free Church. And it looks like there's no change from last year. Did you see any changes?
No.
Okay.
I would move we grant full exemption again this year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. All right. Hunt Cemetery Association. You see, there was no change from last year, from what I can tell.
Right.
You guys, nothing from the assessor. Okay.
I would move we grant full exemption, same as before.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, Kellogg Senior Center. That would be the same. Okay. I didn't see any change from last year. Is there any changes from you guys last year?
I'd move we grant full exemption
I'll
for
second
Kellogg
it.
Senior Center.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Kingston Baptist Church is the next one.
No changes.
I didn't see any changes.
I would move we grant full exemption for Kingston Baptist Church.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Luther Haven Ministries.
Are we on Luther Haven?
LDS.
LDS.
Oh, LDS.
Yeah.
Okay, is that? Yes, LDS. I had that one out somewhere.
It was under the C's for Church of Jesus Christ
Yeah.
of Latter-day Saints.
Yeah. I saw it. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, thank you. And there was no change from last year.
I would move we grant full exemption to Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Now we're at Luther Haven Ministries.
Several parcels.
Should be 5 of them.
Okay, there's a partial exemption as follows. I don't see any. We approved partial exemptions last year.
Yeah, on the Osborne one that starts with a C,
Mm-hmm.
that one is on the tax rolls because they have that rented out for gymnastics.
Okay.
So, did they ask for?
No, this would
exemption?
be Luther Haven.
Right,
Okay.
and that falls under Luther Haven, doesn't it?
Yeah, it
Okay.
does.
One in Osborne.
One in Osborne. Okay, I see it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Now, they did apply for that piece again,
Mm-hmm.
but they said that it is not leased or rented.
I know when I go by, I believe on Mondays, Monday or Tuesday, if not both, there's tons of cars there with kids running back and forth, so you might clarify that one.
Okay.
It's still being written out for gymnastics.
Okay.
Mm.
Do we want to just put a table this one?
I think we should table until we clarify.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I entertain a motion
Move to table until we get further information
I'll second it.
for Luther Haven Ministries.
for Luther Haven Ministries.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Okay, Molly B. Dam.
That's the museum portion, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Is there any changes that you saw this year? Okay. I don't see any changes from last year.
No, I would move we grant full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Mountain View Congregational Church and Kellogg. We have one,
Changes
two,
for
three
of them.
parcels.
No changes. I would move we grant full exemption to Mountain View Congregational Church.
I will second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next one is Mullen Historical Society.
No changes.
No changes.
I don't have that one. Find it. Oh, gotcha. I'm here now. I would move we grant full exemption to the Historical Society.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. New Life Baptist Church, Pinehurst. That's one or two.
Two. No changes.
No changes.
I would move we grant full exemption to New Life Baptist Church.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Nine Mile Cemetery Association.
No changes.
Yeah.
Nothing, no changes. Okay.
I move we grant full exemption to 9 Mile Cemetery Association.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Next one is Northwest Family Church, Silver Valley,
Where is that?
Kellogg. I don't know. Do you know, Commissioner Cows?
I'm not sure.
Kellogg.
South Division.
I think it's just basically changed names, hasn't it? But I'm not familiar with that one, so.
South Division.
We gave them a full exemption last year. When there was 3 parcels.
No changes. on
No
your part?
changes.
Well, that we know of.
Yeah.
I think the reason for that is it hasn't always been known as the Northwest Family Church. Is it the one up by the post office?
South Division.
Yeah, that would
Yes.
be. Yep.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is.
And
that would be,
I think the only thing that's changed is the name, because they have a banner out there.
Yes.
New members or new name or something like that. So,
Yes.
I think it was the Assembly of God before.
Yes, it was.
Correct.
Yeah, so the only thing that's changed is the name.
okay.
I would move we grant full exemption to Northwest Family Church.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Our Savior Lutheran Church, Pinehurst. There's 3 parcels.
No changes.
No changes.
I would move we grant full exemption to Our Savior Lutheran Church.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next one is Pinehurst Congregation of Jehovah's Witness.
No changes from us.
No changes.
I would move we grant full exemption to Jehovah's Witness Church.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The next one is Pinehurst Golf Course, Inc.
4 parcels. And
One has a partial, but the
Right.
clubhouse and the card sheds.
clubhouse is just partial. It's retail. And I think, do they state that in there? In their application?
Yes. I think that
Do they? So really it wouldn't be a change. It would just be more of a statement.
Except it looks like last year, there's more than one.
Yeah, should, I think 4. And then
So
clubhouses.
on the first 3, we gave full. And then
Right.
on the one ending in 1625, we gave partial.
Right.
All right. There's no change.
No.
I would entertain a motion. We'll just,
I would move that we grant the Pinehurst Golf Course full exemption on parcels ending in 7855, 4825, 7850, and a partial exemption and parcel ending in 1625.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, next one is Pinehurst Kingston Lions Club.
No changes.
I'm sorry.
The no changes on this.
Yeah, no changes from me.
I would move we grant full exemption to Pinehurst Kingston's Lions Club.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Dave, you're not a member in.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one is Real Life Ministries. And there is 3,
5.
5. Okay, so it looks like we split them last year, didn't we? We had a partial and a full.
Mr. Chairman, I would move we grant Real Life Ministry Silver Valley a partial exemption on parcel ending in 0000, parcel 00AA, and parcel 001A, and a full exemption on parcel ending in 00AB, same as last year.
I will second it.
All in favor? Aye.
What's that one?
There was a new parcel that they applied for this year that we didn't previously give them. That wasn't on the list of last year.
I don't see that one.
That one starts with G and ends in 00 or 5000.
Isn't that the partial?
That one wasn't on the list from last year.
Oh, okay. And they're asking for a partial.
No, it's 100% was,
They're asking for 100%.
yeah.
Is that in this letter? The one ending in 5000A in the letter, they're please consider a partial exemption.
Oh, was this one the 000?
No.
Was that the one that you were talking about?
No, 000A.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that's my fault.
Okay, so we need a motion on this partial as well.
Okay.
Do they state what it's being used for, Commissioner?
Parcel number referenced is a chunk of property that is grass and trees used for religious, educational, recreational purposes. Include the following: weddings, youth group, camp outings, and various church functions. Please consider a partial exemption for this piece of land, as you have done for other parcels of our church.
So they're asking for a partial. We would have to meet with them and
Determined.
say, what are you using them for, what purposes? Savannah's got an aerial view of it, if you'd like to take a look at it. And it's that larger one.
This one here.
Yeah.
So they're asking for a partial.
Yeah, and that's gonna, I think we'd have to go out and meet with them and say, okay, what are you using and what for? And we don't have any idea. And
Would it be better to table until you had a chance to ask that question?
I think it would be, you could grant them a partial as determined by the assessor's office.
Okay.
And then we can meet with them.
Okay. That sounds good to me.
Does that work for you guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Then
You have to phone number for me.
Thank you.
Contact
I'm sure on their application there's a phone number.
with that.
On the application there's
Okay.
a phone number.
Yeah.
Then, Mr. Chair, I would move that we grant a partial as determined by the assessor on this parcel G 040000500A for Real Life Ministries.
I'll second
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, the Roman Catholic Diocese.
I've got to find it.
They're listed as like St. Alphonsus, St. Rita's, and which one?
Wallace. See them. St. Michael's and
Yeah.
yeah.
I found it.
I found the St. Alphonsus. St. Michael's.
That sounds
St. Rita's. Yep. Okay.
This is this Alphonsus. Any changes in that?
Not that we know.
Mr. Chair, I would move that we grant full exemption to St. Alphonsus Catholic Church, same as last year.
it. I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, now we got St. Michael's.
Which
I don't,
one?
let me make sure, did you,
They're
Yeah.
all under.
They're all under
Yeah.
that, so we'll have to go to St. Mike, we'll have to do St. Michael's and then, St. Rita's.
On St. Michael's, we gave a partial last year, everything except for the house.
Right, they have the parish house rented out.
So I would move that we grant St. Michael's the partial exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, St. Rita's?
Any change from the assessor? on that?
No.
I would move that we grant St. Rita's Catholic Church a full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Shoshone County, let's see. Horsemen's Association.
Yeah, I don't believe there's any changes there.
I would move we grant a full exemption to the Horsemen's Association, same as last year.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Shoshone County Mining and Smelting Museum.
No changes.
Oh,
I would move we grant the Shoshone County Mining and Smelting Museum full exemption, same as last year.
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Shoshone County Public Shooting Range,
No change.
and, yeah,
I would move that we grant Shoshone County Public Shooting Range full exemption on their parcel, same as last year.
all in
Second.
favor? Oh, I'm sorry, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Shoshone County Sportsman
No change.
Association,
Mr. Chairman, I would move full exemption for Shoshone County Sportsman Association, same as last year.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye. Okay, Shoshone County Golf and Tennis Club,
Partial on that, right?
Yep, on
Yeah.
all four parcels.
Yeah.
Or three.
That was on all four, correct?
All
Three.
three, sorry.
All three.
Three.
yep,
Yeah.
3 of them.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant partial exemption as follows, same as last year for Shoshone Golf and Tennis. We had a partial on parcel ending in 2800, all land and parts of clubhouse. We had a partial on parcel ending in 3805, part of the land, all of the maintenance building, and we had a partial on parcel ending in 1400.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
That line up.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, the next one is Shoshone Masonic Lodge.
That was a partial.
That's a
Two
partial.
of those.
Partial.
Because that's where the buildings leased.
Did they state that on the application still?
I believe so.
Okay.
It doesn't look like any change, they didn't put a percentage, but we did a partial last year.
Right.
Okay,
Mr. Chairman, I'd move we grant a partial exemption for the Shoshone Lodge number 25 of the Masonic Lodge, same as last year, where they were leasing a third of the building.
I'll second it.
all in favor? Aye. The next one is Shoshone Memorial Gardens.
No
No
Okay, wait a
changes.
minute. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to Shore Memorial Garden, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. The next one is Silver Valley Fuller Center for Housing, Inc.
I think there's 9 of those. And we believe on one of those they just listed a parcel number also, right?
Yeah, that was the second one.
Yeah.
Did 2 applications for one parcel and forgot to do an application for the other parcel.
Oh yeah, that was the one we spoke with her on the phone, the treasurer, Tammy, and she confirmed that.
Oh, they did. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
And so that one's all cleared up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Same as last year, is what they were applying for.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to these 9 parcels for Silver Valley Fuller Center for Housing.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Silver Valley Seniors, Whispering Pines, and that one is the same. We're on the board of that. I'm stepping down, and haven't been to a meeting since November.
And I'm on the Silver Valley Seniors Board, so there is that conflict.
Okay.
I don't have one.
Okay.
So I will move for full exemption, same as last year, for Silver Valley Seniors.
There's no change from last year. Okay.
And I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And to be clear, that motion was Silver Valley Seniors Pinehurst. Because now we have the
Osborne one.
anything for
Silver Valley
Osborne.
Seniors, Inc. And this is Osborne, right?
yeah. Next
Okay.
No changes.
No changes?
I would move we grant full exemption to Silver Valley Seniors Osborne.
I will second it, but I will also say once again that there is that conflict. I am on the board
For Osborne?
for the Silver Valley Seniors.
Okay.
Yes. And I second it. Yes.
Was I on that one? I don't think. It was just for Echo Pines and
You'd be on that one.
Yes.
okay, I'd be on that one. Okay.
Yes.
And I was withdrawing off that board, so
Yes.
haven't been to one since November, so that was my okay. Did you
And he did. He made a motion. And
Okay.
I seconded it.
all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. The next one is Silver Valley Worship Center.
I guess I would have a conflict on this one since I'm a member.
Okay. And there's no change from last year. Okay. Do a motion.
Do you want to do the motion on that one?
Huh?
You want to
Oh,
do the motion
yeah.
on that?
I make a motion that we give full exemption to Silver Valley Worship Center like we did last year.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Okay, Sixth Street Melodrama. Wallace? No
Nothing
change?
from you?
No.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to Sixth Street Melodrama, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Smelterville Lions Club.
No changes.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to Smelterville Lions Club, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
And because I made a statement on that one, I have a conflict on that one. So,
Well, now I see who filled out the form. I want to double check it. It looks accurate.
I'll give you the keys. You can go check it.
Yeah, we'll see what it.
Okay, Sprague Pole Museum. Murray? No change? Okay.
Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to Sprague Pole Museum, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, the next one is St. Vincent's de Paul Salvage Bureau. And I didn't see any changes. Did you guys have any changes?
No.
I move we grant full exemption to St. Vincent de Paul Salvage Bureau, same as last year.
I will second it.
All in favor? Aye. The Solomon Foundation.
And that one's tough because it's so far away
Mm-hmm.
that it's out of sight, out of mind. But as far as we know, no changes.
Okay.
And that's for 3 parcels.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we grant full exemption to the Solomon Foundation on their 3 parcel request, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay, United Church of Christ.
No changes.
No changes.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to the United Church of Christ Congregational, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Upper Columbia. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, United Church of Christ.
Yeah.
Okay.
No changes. We know.
Isn't that the one we just did?
What's that?
Isn't that the one we just did?
Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
Upper Columbia,
Oh.
Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that the upper?
Where we just did
Yeah.
United Church.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Okay, Upper Columbia Mission, Seventh-day Adventist.
No changes.
No changes?
Mr. Chairman, I would move we grant full exemption to the Upper Columbia Corporation of SDA Mission Society, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, VW Post number 1675.
No changes.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to the Veterans of Foreign War Post 1675, same as last year's.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Wallace District Mining Museum.
No changes.
No changes.
Mr. Chairman, I move we grant full exemption to the Wallace District Mining Museum, same as last year.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye. West Shoshone Hospital District.
I don't know if there's any changes. We used to have a really good working relationship with Jerry Brands, but since he's retired, don't know anymore. I mean, there's 9 parcels. Also, they passed legislation that'll take effect next year.
Mm-hmm.
So when you send that application out next year, I would include that.
Okay.
It gives you guys a little more leeway to deny. I mean, it has to be used for hospital purposes.
Okay.
So I know they're going to cover that a little more extensively in their spring county official institute
Okay.
in May. So I'm planning on attending that. But here's,
Okay.
and again, this is for next year.
Okay.
Not so much our small hospital, but there should be 2 pages.
Pages.
But is there 2 on yours?
There's
Commissioner
3
Brown.
online.
Okay. So, used to be the way it was written, if it belonged to the hospital, it was exempt. And then they had a lot of properties that weren't being used for hospital purposes.
Okay.
And one that comes to mind that I think it would really get our attention is the old clubhouse at the golf course in Pinehurst. Should that be exempt? I don't know. The way the law is written this year, yes. The way the changes in the law that takes effect January 1st of next year, maybe not.
Okay.
So I'm thinking before we hear that one, to run up through legal counsel next year.
Okay.
Just give you a heads up. And we'll take a closer look at all 9 of their parcels. Of course, the hospital would be some of that property they lease out to other doctors.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, but if they leased it out for a sandwich shop, then it would not be.
Okay.
So next year we'll want to, as soon as we get that application in, all 3, the board,
Mm-hmm.
our office, and legal counsel should take a closer look at that.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah.
Thank you.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
No changes for this year though, so I guess I would move that we do the same as last year, where we granted a partial, where 1 unit was not exempt. And I'm trying to find more detail than that last year.
I'm guessing that's probably the apartments.
Yes.
Jerry would always come in and say, we have these 2 apartments that we keep for our doctors, so they're working 24 hours. They'll go there and sleep, and then if they're needed, you come. Sure, but then we have 2 that are rented out to the public, and those shouldn't be. But we don't have that working relationship with the hospital now. I don't even know who the new CEO or CFO is.
Okay.
And stuff. So, but just because we're a small community, I don't think that's changed. So,
All right.
So that would be my motion, that we grant the same as last year. Partial exemption, 1 unit not exempt.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Hope Pregnancy Resource Center.
that one's was exempt in the past.
Yes, and they forgot to do their application in 2021 and thought they were still getting the exemption, and then they found out they didn't, so they reapplied.
And now they've applied.
Okay.
So we don't have anything from last year on this group.
Right.
So I would move that we grant full exemption to Hope Pregnancy Resource Center.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Do we have 2 applications from them? Stephanie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was 2 parcels there.
Okay.
We just have 1 parcel for them.
Was it just one?
Same address. Yeah.
In the AS 400, there was just 1 parcel.
Do you know the reason for the 2 applications?
I mean, they used a weird parcel number on their application anyways, and not the parcel number we have. But
So in the past, in 21, they received a full exemption on that parcel.
yeah,
So, And we're not familiar with it enough to give you much information.
Well, I know they're a legitimate 501c3.
Okay,
And they're still in operation.
still in operation, okay. Right, I'd entertain a motion on this next one as well. Should we do each application or do you
Aren't
want
they
to?
asking for the same property twice? So it's the same,
It's the same, okay,
same property.
okay, so we don't need to do anything with it. And did we already vote on that one?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it.
Okay.
Got them out quick.
Yeah.
Meeting adjourned.